Your links are not the problem. The way your client experiences them might be. Anyone can send a calendar link, a payment link, or an intake form. But when those links feel plain, scattered, or disconnected, your client experience does not match the quality of your brand. That's where link wrapping comes in. I take the links you already use and build a custom branded experience around them. Plain links in, custom masterpiece out. Ding, ding. No wrap requests. Messy links, we make them dress. This client already has the tools. The links work. The problem is the experience does not fully represent the brand just yet. So we're not starting from scratch. We're wrapping what already exists and turning it into something polished, custom, and easy for their clients to follow. Let's see what we have today. Before the wrap, this is what the client sees. And let me be clear, nothing is broken here. The invoice works, the payment schedule is here, the details are all there. But visually, it feels cold. It feels like paperwork first and experience second. So the mission is not to replace the system. The mission is to wrap this link into something warmer. What time is it? It's building time. What time is it? It's building time. This part is sped up, but don't blink. We're taking the scattered links, building the flow, polishing the layout, and turning this into a client experience that actually makes sense. Let's build the wrap. Now we are officially in the build segment. This is the part where I want you to really think bigger than the scene. Because, yes, today we are working on the Elite 800 intake process, but this is not just about credit. This is not just about one form, and this is definitely not about everybody needing this exact build. This is about what becomes possible when you stop treating your business like links, random little buttons floating around the internet. Because every link is taking your client somewhere. Your payment link is taking them somewhere. Your booking link is taking them somewhere. That intake form is taking them somewhere. Your portal, your dashboard, your application, your questionnaire, all of it is part of the experience. And once I really understood that everything online is built with code, I really had to take a second to sit with it. Everything online is built with code. It changed the way I looked at business completely. Code is behind the platforms we use, code is behind the forms we submit. Code is behind the dashboards we log into. Code is behind the systems that make a client click, book, pay, upload, sign, and be able to track progress. All of that is code. So the question becomes, why are we forcing every business into the same basic setup? So that barber might need a booking experience that feels fresh the second the client opens it. A tax pro might need an intake tool that sorts clients before they ever get on the phone. A beauty pro might need a consultation flow that collects photos, policies, deposits, and appointment details all in one place. A coach might need a client portal. An insurance agent might need a quote prep tool. Service providers might need a tracker so clients stop asking, any updates? This is the point of custom. Not complicated, not extra for no reason, just built around the way your business actually works. Personalized to you.
And for this build, we are taking a plain payment process and turning it into a guided intake experience. Because the payment link still has a job, but it should not do the whole job by itself. Here is the problem we are solving with this one. Elite 800 already had a payment link, and the payment link is important because Honeybook is where payments are processed securely for the client. It also helps with client communication and keeps the business side organized. So we are not replacing Honeybook here. We are building around it. This is something I want business owners to understand. Custom does not always mean you throw away what you already use. Sometimes custom just means we take the tools you already trust and we connect it to a better client experience. For Elite 800, we needed something to happen before the client reached the payment screen. We needed to understand where they were in the credit journey. We needed to help them choose the right package. We needed to collect the information needed to start their file correctly. And we needed that information to actually go somewhere useful after they submitted. So instead of sending them straight to the payment page, we are creating an intake process first. It welcomes them in, it asks the right questions, it guides them through the package steps. Then once they are ready, it sends them forward to the secure payment link. And this is where the bill starts becoming more than a pretty page, because now the link is not just collecting money, it's creating structure, preparing the file. It is helping the client understand the next steps, and later the information from the intake will connect to the dashboard side where the actual file can be managed. But for this part, the focus is simple. We are turning a basic payment link into a smarter intake experience. Plain link in, custom client flow out.
Drum roll, please. It is reveal time. Now I'm plugging in the final code, testing the buttons, checking the mobile view, and making sure the whole client flow is clean and ready. Book, pay, upload, start. Everything has its place. Now we package it up for the client delivery. And just like that, the journey is wrapped.
This is where the whole build comes together. We started with one plain payment link. It worked, but it was standing there by itself, doing way too much of the client experience alone. Now look at it. Much different than what we started with. Now let's get to the actual build. The payment link is still a part of the process, but now it has a full experience wrapped around it. The client is welcomed in, guided through the Elite 800 intake, and asked the right questions, shown the package options, and then moved toward the next steps with clarity. This is the difference between sending somebody a link and giving somebody a client journey. And I want you to remember, the build is not the limit. This is just one example. Your business might need an intake form, a tracker, a client portal, a quote tool, a dashboard, a booking flow, or something nobody has even shown you yet. All you need is an idea, or even just bring me the problem. Because once you understand that the code is behind everything, we click book, pay, and submit online. You stop asking, can this be done? Can this be customized? You start asking, what do I wish my process could do? This is what we do here. Plain link in, custom link experience out. Built bold, code creative, live link wrap. We move through the intake pages. I want you to notice something. This is not just a form with questions thrown on a scene. Each page has a job. The welcome page sets the tone and lets the client know that they are in the right place. Then we move into the requirements, because before somebody pays, they need to understand what they need, what they are agreeing to, and what comes next. Then we get into the package steps, and this is important because a confused client does not always become a paying client. Sometimes they just need the process to slow down, explain their options, and guide them to the right next step. That is what a custom intake can do. It can educate, it can qualify, it can collect information, it can prepare the file, and it can make the client feel like the business is organized before they ever talk to you. Now, this is one I built for Elite 800, but your business might need something completely different. Maybe your intake needs photos. Maybe it needs uploads. Maybe it needs service questions, appointment details, client goals, and policy acknowledgments. And these things don't have to be boring. We can make them as interactive as your imagination can come up with. That is the point. We are not building random pages. We are building a process that makes sense. This is where the build starts getting powerful behind the scenes, because the intake form is not just collecting information and then leaving it sitting somewhere. The intake form is speaking to the dashboard real time, so that when a client fills out their Elite 800 intake, that information becomes something I can actually manage. I can go into the dashboard. I can click that I have received their payment from Honeybook. I can see the file. I can review the details. I can track the package, update the status, and work the client's process from one organized place. That's why I keep saying custom is not just about making something cute. Cute is nice, branded is nice, but organized, connected, built around the way your business actually moves. That is where the real value is. For service businesses, the problem is usually not that you do not have the tools. The problem is your tools are not always talking to each other the way you need them to. You might have a form over here, a payment link over here, a client note somewhere else, and then you're trying to remember what needs to be done, what needs to be paid, who submitted and who didn't, and what is waiting on the update. This is how businesses start feeling messy. So for the build, the dashboard becomes the control room. The intake becomes the client in. The dashboard helps me manage the file. And as I update the file from my side, those updates can connect to the client-facing tracker. So I am not just building a form. I am building a workflow. And your workflow might look totally different, and that's okay. I'm really good at capturing your ideas and turning them into something you can actually use. Maybe you need order tracking, appointment stages, document review, project status, quote approvals, or client tasks. The build changes based on your business, but the goal stays the same. Make the process easier to manage, easier to follow, and easier to trust. This part right here is the member portal. The dashboard is in control. It's the control room for my business. The member portal is the client-facing side of the experience. This is where the client can log in, see what phase they are in, follow their next steps, and understand what's happening without having to guess, text, email, and ask, hey, what do I do next? And that right there is why portals matter, because a lot of businesses do not lose clients just for bad service. Sometimes the service is fine. The problem is the client experience feels scattered. One link here, one instruction there, one email buried somewhere, one screenshot they forgot to send, one update they did not know they needed. This is where confusion starts. The Elite 800, this portal was built to give the client a place to land. Then They can see their member card. They can access their credit report dispute hub. They can open credit builder steps and mark them complete. Those steps are also going to real time be sent to my dashboard so I can keep track of where they are in the process and check in on them if I don't see any movement on their end. And they can start seeing the journey in a way that feels organized. Let's talk about the interactive part, because this is where custom builds start getting real interesting. The portal is not just sitting there looking pretty. It has built-in logic. When the client enters their score, the page can respond to the member. It can show where they are on the score journey. It can place them into a range. It can help them generate a simple action plan based on what stage they are in, so they maintain their activeness in the program. That does not mean that we are promising a score. We do not do score promises over here. What it means is the tool can educate, guide, and organize the next steps based on the information the client provides. And that is powerful, because now the client is not just reading random instructions. They are interacting with the process. They can check things off. They can see progress. They can understand what matters right now. They can see what may come next. And for any service business owner watching this, I want you to take the credit part out for a second and think about your own process. Think about your own pain points and what could be plugged in with your imagination and our builds. What could your clients be tracking? Maybe you're a tax professional and your client needs to see what documents they're missing. Maybe you're a beauty pro and your client needs prep checklists before their appointment. Maybe you're a coach and your client needs a weekly action plan. Maybe you are an insurance agent and your client needs to move through quote steps, documents, and policy views. Maybe you're a contractor and your client needs project stages, approvals, photos, and updates. The industry can change, but the idea is the same. Clients like clarity. The more we move into the digital age, clients are more comfortable with this type of clarity. So it's time for us as business owners to meet the need. And as we move through this portal, you can see that the build keeps expanding past one basic page. We have action steps, we have score tracking, we have readiness sections, we have uploads, we have buttons that guide the client to outside tools when needed. And we have a fully branded space that makes the process feel intentional. This is what I mean when I say your links do not have to stay plain.
Thanks for watching. Ready to get wrapped? Visit pctclientcustoms.com to explore the demos or request your design kit. The design kit includes a smart design form that helps us understand your brand, your link, your flow, and how to get the most out of your custom package. Packages start as low as $147. You own the rights to your design. Revisions are included. And you'll get access to the Track Your Build portal to follow your project and request updates. Let's get you wrapped. PCT Client Customs. Your client journey wrapped.